Hi everyone, it's Ahmet Kaan here. So, in my personal opinion, learning from the people who already achieved what you want to achieve in life is essentially the best way to shorten your learning curve. And the best exercise that allows you to do that is reading. With reading, you can get decades of years of knowledge and learning lessons in a few hours and in a few days. For the last 2 to 3 years, I read a lot of personal development and self-improvement books, and I came up with a list of best personal development self-improvement books in 2021 that you should read that actually changed my life. Because we all know that leaders are readers. So the first book in our list, best personal development books in 2021, is going to be Deep Work by Cal Newport. In the world of distractions, it is really insanely hard to actually truly focus on just one thing. And to be honest, it's actually getting even harder to do that every single day. And currently, we humans have attention spans of goldfish, which is insane. But I personally believe that Cal Newport is the person who is going to teach us the right way to focus and to actually gain that focus back. And also, he actually wrote the book Digital Minimalism as well. I personally read this book 2 times from cover to cover, and every single time that I open it, I learn more about how to truly focus and how to actually get into that deep work state so that we can actually be in flow. If you have problems with focusing on one task at a time, or if you just want to improve your deep work skills, then Deep Work by Cal Newport is going to be the book to go, and that is the first book on our list. The second book on our list, best self-help books in 2021, is going to be one of my favorite books of all time, which is Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book actually showed me how small changes in your life that you can make are going to be able to compound and make your life so much different and so much better. I actually personally have never read this book physically, but I listened to the book on Audible around like 4 to 5 times. If you want to make a change in your life, then the most important and the single thing actually you should change is definitely your habits. Because small habits that you do every single day are going to decide if you're going to be a successful human being in the future or not. And James Clear explains the 4 rules of habit change, whether you want to build a good habit, whether you want to break a bad habit, very well. And actually, it really doesn't matter if you are into self-improvement or not. Atomic Habits should be read by everyone, in my personal opinion, and that is why it is kind of my favorite book of all time. The third book on our list, best personal development books in 2021, is going to be one of the classics of self-improvement, which is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And this book is essentially one of the most popular and most classic books in self-improvement niche, with Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, and the book that I'll be mentioning later, which is Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence Other People. These are the classics of self-improvement. Whether you want to be a more effective person in your personal life, whether you want to be effective in your career, then Stephen Covey's 7 Habits and the strategies that he teaches in this book are definitely gold. This book was, to be honest, one of the first books that I read in the niche of self-improvement, and it really made me fall in love with this personal development and becoming the best version of myself thing. He explains the rules to be successful very well, and a list of best personal development books couldn't actually do without 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. The fourth book in our list, best personal development books for 2021, is going to be a book that is essentially my favorite book about communication, which is How to Win Friends and Influence Other People by Dale Carnegie, which you probably heard about because it is one of the most popular books, as I said before, with 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and Think and Grow Rich. It is definitely a must-read because communication is something that we all should work on, because it is one of the most important skills in our lives that we should work on a daily basis. And a couple of months earlier, Richard Yu actually made a video, I'm gonna put the thumbnail here, about talking about this book, one book that made him $300,000, more than $300,000 in 1 year, talking about this book, How to Win Friends and Influence Other People. So, in my personal opinion, this book is a must if you want to improve your social skills. So this is the reason why I put this video in our list. The fifth book that made it into our list, best self-improvement books in 2021, is going to be a book that is actually pretty similar to Atomic Habits by James Clear, which is The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. I talked about habits and how important they are in your life a lot on this channel. You build your habits first and then your habits build you. And if you want to make a change in your life, if you want to make a positive change in your life, the first thing that you should consider is actually looking at your habits and changing your bad habits. And if you want to make a positive change in your life, then reading this book is actually a must, because to be honest, I read this book a couple of times and I discussed the ideas that this book actually gives from Charles Duhigg in maybe countless times with my friends, and I actually learned everything that I learned about habit change when it comes to the basis of habit change from this book. So if you want to make a positive change in your life, this book is a must. If you are into a habit change, then this book is definitely a very important book to read. The very last book, the 6th book on our list, best self-help books for 2021, is going to be a book that I didn't really thought that would make into this list. But after reading it, and after actually reading it a couple of times, I came into the conclusion that this book is very important when it comes to improving your social skills, which is What Everybody is Telling by Joe Navarro. This book was actually a recommendation to me from one of my classmates, shout out to you Hassan, and after I read this book, I really thought that this was one of the most important things when it comes to the social skills that we want to improve in our lives. The author, Joe Navarro, is a former FBI agent, and the book is actually all about body language, because we all have those awkward moments where we don't know what to say while we are having a conversation, and Joe Navarro actually breaks down the human behavior and the body language very well down, so that you can actually understand what other person is thinking or what his or her body language is trying to tell you. If you want to get better at your social skills, then this is one of my best recommendations out there for you. Definitely a very worth reading book. I currently have the Turkish versions of the Deep Work and also the What Everybody is Telling You. These are the Turkish versions, so the covers can be and should be pretty different. But I'm telling you, these books are definitely one of the most important. These books are the most important books that you should read if you are into personal development, or even if you're not into personal development. These are very well reads. And I personally think that every time I read these books, I actually learn something new, even though I may be reading that book for the 5th time, because classics don't really change and they're always awesome to learn. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you enjoy personal development content just like this, then subscribe, because every single week I'm coming up with a couple of videos, not a couple of, but 1 to 2 videos every single week about personal development and productivity, and I would love to see you in the next one. And yeah, take care, bye.